exploring Hampton University's rich history, progressive present, and promising future. You're watching The View from Hampton U.
Thanks for joining us today for the launch of Season 2 of The View from Hampton U. This new season marks an exciting opportunity to share interesting facts about the rich history of our beloved Hampton, the recent accomplishments of HU's faculty, staff, and students, and to highlight the university's accomplished alumni. To that end, I decided to take a trip to Atlanta, Georgia, to meet with the HU Alumni Association there. I wanted to find out what some of the best and brightest of Hampton University's alumni were doing to make a lasting impression in that community. And when I arrived, I met with the president of Atlanta's Alumni Association, Raquel Watson, and over 20 alumni at one of Atlanta's most trendy new restaurants, Cafe Circa, which is owned by Hampton University alumni. And I even had an opportunity to visit the headquarters of the Coca-Cola Company while I was in Atlanta. One of HU's own alumni, Miss Johnny Booker, is the director of supplier diversity there. She asked me to join a fellow HU alumni, Dolores Bryant Booker, to join them as they shared stories about their time at HU.
I attended Hampton from 1957 to 61. In fact, I celebrated my 50th reunion this past May. I am from Fort Valley, Georgia, and attended Hampton, being encouraged by my high school principal and his wife, who was my teacher, and my friends, Sylvia Bryant and her sisters, Dolores Bryant Booker, and Doris Bryant Mabry, and Dolores is here with me today.
Yes, both of us are from Fort Valley. And as Johnny said, my father was her high school principal. My father and mother went to Hampton. And I think that I always knew that I was going to go to Hampton. When I thought of college, I thought of Hampton.
Well, I moved here in Atlanta November of 1988. Of course, I graduate 1986 from Hampton. Since then, and even before then, I've been practicing architecture and been the beneficiary of a 25-year career, successful career, gainfully employed with a number of firms throughout the metro Atlanta area. I started my career in Norfolk with Banks Cornet Architects, and since then it's been a great experience. Hampton, what I learned thoroughly prepared me to do what I do, thanks to Bemis and the architectural laboratories there. It's the only building on campus that probably still the lights stay on 24 hours.
I graduated in 1987. My major was computer science. Mary Ellis was the head, first was an instructor at Hampton for computer science, and later was the department chair. And my freshman class was the first class that entered Hampton ever to major in computer science. And though we had some other students that transferred and changed their majors, we were actually the first class to graduate in 4 years in computer science at Hampton University. So by far as a student, I think, was one, graduating in support of Dr. Mary Ellis and really getting her support to kind of assist us. And by the time I graduated, they had changed the majors to easier things like airway science and information systems, but she really encouraged me to really stay on the original track. And I was able to graduate in computer science. That was probably the first. And the second thing, I think, was pledging my fraternity, Alpha Phi fraternity, Crazy Gamma Iota at that school. That was also a good experience.
How many universities can boast of having alumni who are celebrities, judges, scientists, bishops, and the like? Well, Hampton University can. When we return, you'll learn more about some of HU's distinguished alumni.
Our ability to outcompete other countries will be shaped not just in our boardrooms, not just on our factory floors, but in our classrooms, in our schools, at universities like Hampton.
Introducing Hampton U Online, the first HBCU to offer online degree programs of this caliber. Visit Hampton University's virtual campus today at huonline.hamptonu.edu. We're available to assist you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 877-633-9150.
The View from Hampton U, bringing you in-depth interviews, cutting-edge research, amazing sports highlights, faculty and student profiles, and much more.
Hampton University has made such an indelible mark on the academic landscape of African American families that multiple generations of students from the same family matriculate at Hampton University. Grandparents, parents, and grandchildren share a special bond through their unique family history at HU.
We actually have 4 generations of our family who went to Hampton. My mother was the first. She met my father there. My twin sister and I went, and then my sister Sylvia, that Johnny mentioned. Sylvia and Johnny were best friends. We've known each other all our lives. And after myself and my sisters went to Hampton, my daughter followed me there, and then her daughter also went to Hampton. So you see, we are really a Hampton family.
Councilman Ivory Lee Young had many wonderful stories to share about his time at HU and the benefits of networking with alumni since graduation. He also wasn't by any means shy about showing his school spirit.
I attended Hampton on a partial band scholarship, and so needless to say, I'm very happy to be a proud member of the marching force at Hampton, where I served in the trumpet section, better known to most of you as Brass Destruction or Brass D. Trumpets by the sea, the baddest dance section there'll ever be. We are one as you are three, and we are here for the whole world to see. That was Brass Destruction then, and I'm sure Brass Destruction now. We did many things while at Hampton and participating in any number of activities. But as Hampton is known now, the mighty Pirates were always a force in intercollegiate athletics and all over what was then the CIAA, now the MEAC. And we continue to be a force to be reckoned with. And so I'm compelled to, all hail to the Hampton Pirates, rulers of the sea. All hail to the Hampton Pirates, best team there'll ever be. All hail, hail, hail to the mighty Hampton Pirates, hail to the white and blue. Hampton, Hampton Pirates fight to win. Hampton Pirates, we love you. I have no shame in my game because I bleed blue and white everywhere I go, thanks to the great experiences I had at my home by the sea. I joined in 1982, the spring of that year, the greatest Greek letter fraternity in the world, Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. I helped an Omega become governor of the state of Virginia, Douglas Wilder, while I was at Hampton. In addition, worked with a fraternity brother of mine, now Congressman Bobby Scott, formerly representative and state senator, while I was at Hampton to help register people to vote. We helped him to get elected. And I would venture to say those political experiences went a long way toward helping to mold and shape me in terms of what I'm doing here today.
I would say, I've said this before, I would say 99.99999% of what I've accomplished, really I give credit to Hampton University. Of course my parents, but your parents can only give you advice and counsel. I think my parents agreeing to allow me to attend Hampton University was the first step. We really realized the education at Hampton. When I first graduated, we had $100 in my pocket, didn't have a car, didn't have even a credit card, and took a job at IBM with New York City to begin working there. And this is like December of 1987. And I remember at the time I started there, very few people had heard of Hampton University. However, my head of my branch office knew Mr. Holland, who had been the previous president of Hampton University. And it was amazing, even in New York City, that Hampton connection. And I think back on it, that job at IBM, which I got at Hampton, by the way. I initially met IBM at Hampton. had the greatest grades. I had potential, but Hampton saw that. And so my first job out of college, I got at Hampton.
As a matter of fact, when I went to Hampton, there were people at Hampton who had taught my mother and father. So when I got to Hampton, they said, "Oh, you're one of the twins. You're one of Marion and Henry's twins." And I thought, well, I thought I was going to be leaving and going someplace where I could just be Dolores. But once again, I'm Marion and Henry's daughter, and that really turned out to be a very good thing.
Well, I've noticed that a lot has changed, and I'm very excited about that. The equestrian program, the Proton Center, the work with NASA. These are areas in which, you know, they're paving the way for the 21st century or the 20th and beyond. So I really think that this offers the students a lot of opportunity to move into the new and non-traditional professions. And I say non-traditional because they were not those kinds of professions that most historical psychologists are training their students on. And I think this really is we should applaud the administration and the faculty for moving in that direction.
Some alumni even shared a bit about their former selves. You know, the guy they used to be when they were 20 years younger and not a corporate executive. Let's hear a bit more from Mr. Dwayne Crawford about the other guy he used to be when he was a student at HU.
Anyone that would know me, I'm not going to perpetrate. If you know me, my name is DC. Yes, it is, and I had a great time at the school. I had a ball, but I just want to thank the students that I went to school with. We have our 25th anniversary coming up. It'll be, I guess, in next May or June of next year. I plan on being there. And I just want to apply to school. When they go up at Dr. Harvey. Dr. Harvey, you probably don't get enough recognition. I want to personally thank you. You know, we take it for granted. I think we brag about the school, but it goes back to your vision, what you've done for all these years. And I know you hear it all the time, but we really want to thank you personally because through your leadership, that school is getting on the map. And I know we brag about endowments and everything else, but the real product are the people that you invested in. And many of us had maybe some potential, but you and your faculty saw that. And Dr. Mary Ellis, wherever you may be, I just want to personally thank you because you kicked my rear end, but I do appreciate it. It's been an awful lot.
Growing up, we were always taught that to whom much is given, much is required. And because I loved Hampton so, I thought it important that I give back. So when my mother passed in 2009, I began the process of developing giving to Hampton to develop an endowment fund in the name of my mother, Lillian Brooks Graves. And to date, that was 2009 that I started it. To date, it has a little over $50,000 in it. And I plan to make it at least $100,000 by the year 2013. I'm lucky in that I'm able to have matching funds from the Coca-Cola Company. And even when I retire in December, I will continue to have those matching funds. So I will continue with that. And I also bought a window for the new cafeteria that I'm very excited about. And on that window I have my mother, my sister, and myself, and the names of all of us will be on that window. So that's a part of my giving back to my alma mater, and which was my home by the sea, or is still my home by the sea.
And just like Johnny, I also wanted to recognize and remember my parents. I wanted to be sure that there was always something at Hampton that captured the memory of Marion and Henry Bryant, because they loved Hampton so much. So many, many years ago, when my father died, but my mother was still alive, my sisters and I started an endowed scholarship, and their names is the Marion P. and Henry E. Bryant Scholarship. And it is for students from Georgia who are majoring in education. We also have a Bryant Booker family window in the new cafeteria. And I intend to continue to do things so that my mother and father's names will be imprinted on the memory of everybody who goes to Hampton. They really, really loved Hampton. And so I want to continue to give back in their names also.
Wherever I walk, Hampton walks with me. Jesus Christ and Hampton are the covering that I have that continues to rest, rule, and abide within my heart, soul, and spirit. And I have to give a shout out to the greatest college president in the world, in the universe, and Dr. Bill Harvey, who takes a personal interest in all of the students at Hampton, past and present. And congratulations for Hampton's continued growth, continued revitalization. The things that we're doing, not just on the campus, but off the campus, continue to reveal to the world that we are the standard of excellence.
You're watching The View from Hampton U in Atlanta.
Watch The View from Hampton U with hosts Aaron Smith and Kiva Davis as they share information about Hampton University's groundbreaking research, of rigorous academic programs, highly competitive sports programs, world-class fine arts events, and get to know some of HU's distinguished faculty and exceptional students.
Our ability to outcompete other countries will be shaped not just in our boardrooms, not just on our factory floors, but in our classrooms, in our schools, at universities like Hampton.
Introducing Hampton U Online, the first HBCU to offer online degree programs of this caliber. Visit Hampton University's virtual campus today at huonline.hamptonu.edu. We're available to assist you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 877-633-9150.
I'm Wayne Dawkins. I'm an assistant professor at the Scripps Howard School of Journalism and Communications. Long Island University in Brooklyn, New York. I earned my bachelor's degree in journalism and a minor in history. And Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism, where I earned my master's science degree. What got me into this field was just, as a child, just the love of writing, of current events. It was in high school I decided I wanted to become a journalist. It's been 4 newspapers, 2 news services, including a daily on the internet. And now what I like to say here at Hampton, I'm in the classroom and I'm training the next great generation of journalists. I usually write a commencement article or blog post because we get the top newsmakers. You can't get better than President Obama speaking at you at our commencement. So President Harvey's about to announce the HAM winner, so I have my notebook poised with my pen, and I'm going to write down the person on this campus who won it. And suddenly over the PA system in the football stadium, I hear my name called, and I kind of freeze. It's a real out-of-body experience. I remember a colleague just said, "Well, stand up." So I did. And I stood up and I'm hearing this applause. I'm still kind of wobbly. And I sit down. So I guess I'll be hearing more and learning more, but this is all new to me. It's quite an honor. There's a photo in this office of myself interviewing Senator Barack Obama. It often causes whiplash among students, and I constantly remind them to notice that I'm not posing with the president, I am interviewing the president. Big difference, because I'm a working journalist and we are not supposed to be starstruck, even as we get this privilege to cover great people in politics, entertainment, other areas. In this age of smartphones, all kinds of digital gadgetry, the newest generation of the internet, I still want to ingrain the core principles of journalism and mass communications, because that should be the principles that don't change. Concise communication, writing or communicating to be understood. Fairness, balance, and I preach that every day. And we can still have lots of fun too, because this does not mean it's always serious. You have to have a sense of humor and just a sense of curiosity to do this and do this well.
I'm Jeremiah Jones. I'm from Richmond, Virginia. I'm a recent graduate from the class of 2011. I have my BA in Comprehensive Art. DuPont Hall, the biology department at Hampton University, commissioned me to do 2 pieces for their new lab in the summer of 2010. This really inspired me. The first painting that I hung in the atrium of the Student Center is entitled Grand Spirit. It's a portrayal of a young lady that goes to Hampton University named Adrienne Thomas. She runs track. But instead of portraying her in her usual depiction, I portrayed her as an angel who was sent from heaven to create this environment we live in today. Your Young Men Shall See Visions was the second painting that I hung in the Student Center. This painting meant so much to me because these were my friends that I wanted to give attention to. So often, attention is given to people who are doing negative things in the media. So I want to give attention to the unsung hero. This painting has 6 young men in it. One is a speaker, the other is an architect, the other is a musician, a computer technician, a writer, and a physician. When you put all of these professions together, you get a great revolution. And the revolution starts within the mind. And that's what I want to affect when I paint. I'm a part of a poetry group called the Verbiage Society that's on the campus of Hampton University, started by Phil Cosby. And we published our first book called The Revival. Poetry is so important to me because it's the spiritual identity of art and motion. I look at myself as an apprentice to the Most High. So my mission is to portray the things that I see in the Word and the things that I see in the life around me, because the world is one big masterpiece. A true artist is one who can paint a spiritual message into someone else's soul, and that's my goal.
We hope you've enjoyed today's show. Tune in next week as we take a tour of Hampton University's esteemed Peabody Collection.
The View from Hampton U, bringing you in-depth interviews, cutting-edge research, amazing sports highlights, faculty and student profiles, and much more. Watch The View from Hampton U with hosts Aaron Smith and Kiva Davis as they share information about Hampton University's groundbreaking research of rigorous academic programs, highly competitive sports programs, world-class fine arts events, and get to know some of HU's distinguished faculty and exceptional students.
Did you know Hampton University's alumni continue to make noteworthy contributions abroad, throughout the nation, and in the Hampton Roads community? Renowned sociologist Spencer Christian, politician Al Eisenberg, revered clergyman Bishop Ted G. Thomas Sr., Emmy Award-winning comedian and actress Wanda Sykes, the 26th governor of the Virgin Islands, Charles Turnbull, and many others are shining examples of Hampton University's distinguished alumni. And now you know.
Join us at the same time next week.